Before we can understand how Bruce Lee weaponized Shaolin, we need to understand what Shaolin truly was. The Shaolin Temple, nestled in the mountains of China, was not just a religious sanctuary, it was a battlefield of discipline. The monks trained relentlessly, combining meditation with brutal physical training. Their strikes weren't just moves, they were born from stillness, crafted from breathing, and forged in fire. Shaolin was about harmony, flow, and controlling the mind and body as one. Every move had a purpose. Every kick, every block, every stance came from years of repetition. But in the ancient world, this was enough. The battlefield was different. Opponents followed a code. The Shaolin system was elegant, disciplined, and spiritual. Then came Bruce Lee. A storm. Bruce Lee's early exposure to Shaolin principles. Bruce Lee was not born in the Shaolin Temple, but his roots in Chinese martial arts, specifically Wing Chun, carried deep elements of Shaolin philosophy. He trained under the legendary Ip Man, who believed in practicality, economy of motion, and efficient combat. Wing Chun, though not purely Shaolin, was influenced by its methods, particularly the idea of flowing with energy rather than fighting it. Bruce began to absorb these elements early. The stances, the breathing techniques, the rapid trapping and deflection, he saw their value. But he also saw their limits. In the streets of Hong Kong, fights didn't follow tradition. There were no rules. And Bruce was already thinking beyond the temple walls. Breaking tradition, why Bruce Lee rejected the limits of classical kung fu. What made Bruce Lee different from other martial artists wasn't just his speed or strength, it was his mind. He believed that traditional martial arts, including Shaolin styles, had become too rigid. Beautiful, yes. Powerful, yes. But not always functional in a real fight. He famously said, "Classical martial arts are like a land swimmer practicing strokes on dry land." To him, techniques that looked great in forms or demonstrations weren't always effective when fists were flying at full speed in a chaotic fight. So what did he do? He began to strip Shaolin down to its core. He examined its principles, the balance, the mental discipline, the explosive power, and asked one question. How can this work in the street? Turning Shaolin movement into real-world combat. Bruce Lee respected Shaolin deeply. He didn't discard its essence. Instead, he carved away the ritual and focused on what worked. He trained to move like a predator, quick, explosive, and efficient. From Shaolin, he borrowed the low stances, the rooting of the feet, the breath control, and the sharp, angular strikes. But he didn't just copy. He reinvented. Instead of fixed patterns, Bruce moved freely. He merged Shaolin's powerful strikes with boxing footwork, fencing timing, and street fighting angles. Where Shaolin emphasized form, Bruce emphasized adaptability. He made Shaolin breathe. Take tea.